Hey folks, welcome to my channel, and I decided to get on here and do a video about demonstrated interest. Since I'm actually visiting the UW today, you can see Red Square behind me, and it's college admission season, and demonstrated interest is actually one of those things that colleges consider in the application process. Just make sure my notes aren't blown away here. But the UW actually doesn't consider demonstrated interest. I've worked for the UW as an admissions reader for a couple seasons, and demonstrated interest isn't one of those things that a lot of public state schools consider, but places in the Ivy League, top schools like Harvard, liberal arts colleges, engineering colleges that are private, definitely consider demonstrated interest as a part of the evaluation of their candidates. So I decided to go in here and talk about it today because I hadn't actually heard about any demonstrated interest, and sorry if I'm squinting here, heard about demonstrated interest until I actually started doing college admissions work. And so I want to explain to all you folks out there what exactly demonstrated interest is so that you don't get caught off guard. And from what I know about the college, how colleges use demonstrated interest is it's a factor, meaning a lot of colleges in the last NACAC survey of what they actually consider in their application process said they consider demonstrated interest somewhat important. So somewhat on a scale of not important at all to very important. Colleges consider demonstrated interest somewhat important, so take that with a grain of salt. All right, so what can you actually do to demonstrate interest and get those points on your college applications? Well, I'll say one of the first and easiest thing you do, again, I'm here at the UW in Red Square, is you can visit a college campus and go to the admissions office and talk to the admissions officers. And then when they ask you, what have you done? What shows your interest in the college? Yeah, hey, I visited campus and I loved it. I got to talk to students. Very interesting. You can also take an online class at the college. So a lot of schools, especially Ivy Leagues, Harvard, Cornell, Columbia, offer either free online classes or classes that high school students can sign up for. If you're close to a college that you want to attend, you can do a dual credit program, so that would show demonstrated interest. I'm close to the University of Washington. Again, as a Seattle high school student here, there are dual credit opportunities, college and high school opportunities available through the UW. There are a lot of dual credit college credit opportunities available at the community colleges here too. So that is another way to show demonstrated interest. And then I would say you can also go to like a prospective student open house. See here, if I turned it around, there are a lot of folks here on campus today doing the student tours. A lot of parents and students figuring out what the UW is about. So you can go on one of those prospective student tours, do an open house. A lot of high schools, actually, to universities have where you can do an overnight visit and stay with a student, a freshman student, or you can do a visit, meet with the admissions office, bring your parents along. So those are a number of things. So you take an online class, visit campus, go to an open house, do a prospective student seminar, do an overnight visit. Other things you can do, just look at my list here. One of the things I really encourage is, like, a lot of these schools have student ambassador programs. So you can connect with a freshman student who you can start talking to at the end of your junior year, beginning of senior year, who can tell you everything about campus, the academics, the culture, the food. And then you get to build a relationship with that student and really find out more about what goes on campus. And so that would be another way to show demonstrated interest. And that's a long list, from visiting campus, taking free classes, connecting with the student. You can even connect with alumni, have an alumni serve as your mentor if you're interested in a particular field of study, or you can work as an intern for an alumni. That way you're not only demonstrating to colleges that you're interested in the students they graduate, and you have a deep knowledge of the school environment from having these relationships with fellow alumni, but it also gives you something to write about in those personal statements. You're saying, I'm racking my brain for something to talk about in my personal statement. Well, if I genuinely enjoyed my visit to the college and I genuinely met people who I think are fascinating, I genuinely learned something about the college that I didn't know that I want to communicate in my supplemental essay, my short essay, or the additional information section, I think that is a freaking awesome way to show demonstrated interest and to kind of get over that hurdle of figuring out, how do I show that I'm actually legitimately interested in this college? Because when colleges are awarding a select number of enrollment slots, it's important that the students who they offer admission to are actually going to end up enrolling at the college, or really it's a wasted slot. Someone ends up on a wait list, someone ends up rejected, and it's all for nothing because the student the student they accepted doesn't even end up going to the school. So demonstrated interest matters for all those reasons. Again, here at the UW, coming to you live. My alma mater, graduated from here a couple years ago. But that's demonstrated interest. That's the role it plays in the college admissions process, and that's some of the ways you can show demonstrated interest, which I think is such a weird thing to say. But that's how you show your interest in a place, is really getting out there and visiting campus, talking to those admissions officers. Oh no, another thing I forgot is if you have a college fair in town and you got, you know, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, one of these top colleges, your state school, liberal arts colleges there, and you want to find out about the college, talk to the person at the table, write down your name. All that counts as demonstrated interest. So without further ado, that's what I got today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.